Hello everyone, this is Dave from Dave's Resa Things. The stores are starting to fill up with fall and autumn decor. You've got pumpkins, you've got gourds, you've got leaves. It's amazing. I am loving it. Fall is one of my favorite times of year. It leads into Halloween, which leads into Christmas, which we all love and adore. What better way to celebrate the upcoming fall season other than another Wreathathon? Yes, I'm joining forces with my wonderful creators on YouTube here, hosted by DIY with Nadia, and we are all joining forces for another Fall Wreathathon. Don't forget, after you watch my video, click on that link right down below. That's going to take you to a playlist. Click on those videos, like, comment, share, subscribe, as you will. Thank you so much for joining us today on another Fall Wreathathon. Why don't I just get started and I'll show you what I created. I'm using a 14-inch wire wreath frame. This one comes from the Dollar Tree, along with 5 different 2.5-inch wired ribbon. Now these are 2.5 inches. I bought 2 rolls of each color and each pattern. These are from the Dollarama, but if you don't have a Dollarama around you, the Dollar Tree sells the same colors, patterns, etc. So you can use those just as well as the ones I'm using today. Also, I'm using some twine that I have here and some crafting supplies to get everything started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a lot of cutting. Yes, cutting is the theme today. What I am doing is I'm starting to cut off 8 inches for each ribbon. So all 5 ribbons are going to be cut at 8-inch lengths. And don't worry, I'm going to give you the grand totals in a minute. But I just wanted to show you each piece I'm cutting 8 inches long for this ribbon wreath that we're using. I have 5 different patterns. I'm cutting 18 pieces at 8 inches for each pattern. So for each ribbon that I'm using, it's going to be 144 inches per ribbon and 720 inches of ribbon in total to make this wreath today. So these are all the cut lengths that I'm going to be using for today's ribbon wreath. They are all cut. I have them all in my nice little neat piles. Now let's add some dovetails. If you've never done a dovetail before, it's just a little finishing touch. All you do is you fold your ribbon in half and you're going to cut on an angle. Now when you cut on an angle, you can go fairly shallow or fairly deep. The first one I'm showing you is a shallow cut. And you can also do, if you angle your scissors just a little bit more, you can do a more deep cut if you want. I'm going to use the shallow one today. I'm not going to give it such a deep dovetail, but I'm just going to use the shallow one like I show you right here. So I am going to continue on with that dovetailing of all of my pieces of ribbon, just cutting off those ends, just finishing it off on both ends. So I'm dovetailing each end of these to finish it off. And of course, yes, there is a lot of cutting today, but stick around, trust me, with the end result. Trust me, trust me. Now to put together our bundles, I'm just using some twine and I just cut mine. I didn't even measure it. It could be maybe 18 inches long. So I am cutting all of those. I'm going to cut 18 of them in total because we're going to create 18 bundles for our wreath. Per section, we're doing 3 bundles. With our 14-inch wire wreath frame, there is 6 sections, so that's 18 bundles. Here we are starting our first bundle. I'm just picking random ribbon. I'm going to use 1 ribbon of each pattern and color for each bundle. All I'm doing is I'm taking the ribbon, I'm going to find the middle, scrunch it up with my finger, and then I'm going to hold it with my left hand. And I'm going to create the bow at the same time. If you're having trouble finding the middle, just fold it in half, push it down, and then you'll create a little crease. Once you open it up again, follow that crease, and boom, you've got your little bow happening. I'm going to add 1 more ribbon onto this little bundle with that beautiful, it's a wheat sort of burgundy color. I love this color and I love this pattern. Very fall, very autumn. Once we've got our bundle all ready, I'm going to take a piece of string. I'm just going to lay it down. And then face side down, I'm going to lay that little bundle. And I'm going to wrap that twine right around the center. And I'm not going to pull it as soon as I do the first knot. I'm going to flip it over. You'll see in a second. I'm just going to flip it over to make sure I'm centered and everything is kind of bundled in there. So I flip it over. Yep, that looks good to me. Now I'm just going to yank that with a nice pull and do a double knot for that. I'm not going to cut it. We're going to leave that twine on there dangling because that's how we're going to attach it to the wreath. And then if you want, you can just fluff it up now before you attach it to your wreath a little bit. You can put it down on the table, hold the center, and then, of course, you can fan out those beautiful ribbons showing each ribbon. Here it is, our first bundle. And of course, I've had a couple made already. You can see how we're going with this. For putting your bundles together, you can use random patterns, you can use random placement, or you can do the same thing. You can do the pumpkin, then the green, then the yellow, then the burgundy, then the wheat one. I chose to do totally random. So I just picked one. I'm going to use obviously one of each different ribbon per bundle, but I just picked randomly. I wanted a randomness for this. But if you want, you can use the same pattern over and over again. It's totally up to you. Here we are with our other bundle. I'm just fanning it out. I just love these combinations here. I am so happy with my ribbon choice. So I have a lot of bundling to do, and here they are all done. And look how fall this looks. I love it. Here is our wire wreath frame. How we're going to lay it out is we're going to do 3 bundles, creating a V shape per section. So the next section, I'm going to go out, in, and out. And then for the first one, I'm going to do the 2 inner wires, and then I'm going to just attach it using that twine. Let's flip that frame over. And again, I'm using the 2nd inner wire to attach it onto. And then all I do is feed those twine pieces through the holes, tie it in a little knot, and I'm going to double knot this. And once I've got that knot nice and secure, I'm just going to grab my scissors and chop off the excess. And we have our first ribbon placed on our wreath so far. Since it's on the inside, let's call it the inside, I'm going to go to the outside wire. So this is the 2nd outside wire. So basically I'm using 1 wire. I'm going to go up 1, then I'm going to go down 1, then I'm going to go up 1, then I'm going to go down 1. And I hope that makes sense. But here I am attaching that 2nd one on there. I'm almost done again with that double knot. And then I'm going to just chop off the excess with my scissors. And I'm going to add my 3rd and final bundle in this section. So here we're going down, up, and down. So we're going to attach this one on the same wire as we did the first one. So we're making a little V shape within the section, and really you're kind of doing a zigzag all the way around the wreath. You're going up, down, up, down. That's our pattern that we're going to be using today. I just chop off the excess again, and you'll notice they move a lot, and that's totally fine. We've got a little fix coming up. I'm just going to twist them around and position the way I want them, flip it over, make sure everything's spaced properly. And once I do that, I'm just going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to add a little dab of glue on each side of that twine, making sure that the glue attaches the twine to the wire, and then it's not going to go anywhere. So we've done down, up, down. Now we're going to go to the next section, and we're going to do this on the 2nd outermost wire. So again, that zigzag pattern, up and down, up and down. I'm going to come back and do the inside wire and attach that bundle on there. And then the final one in this section, I'm going to do on the outer 2nd wire again. And just tie that off in a double knot. Once that's all done and everything's placed, I'm going to add some hot glue there to make sure it doesn't unravel and to make sure it doesn't move on me. So everything's nice and evenly placed. You can see with our little zigzag pattern, And we have 2 of our sections completely done. And now I'm just going to continue on with my pattern, my zigzag pattern, going in and out with those ribbon bundles and gluing them as I go. Putting the last one on here with the last bit of glue. We're going to let that dry. And then the reveal. I love this part. Boom! Here we have our ribbon wreath with all of our glorious ribbon fall colors. I love this wreath so much. You can leave it just like this, or we can add a little bit of pizzazz to it. So let's maybe Dave it up a bit, if you will. But again, you can totally leave it as is, or we can actually add on just a little bit more to zhuzh up this wreath. How am I going to zhuzh it up? More cutting. Yes, I know. You probably hate me by now with all these cuts. What I'm doing with my leftover ribbon, so I do have those 5 leftover ribbons. I'm going to cut 2 pieces at 12 inches and 2 pieces at 8 inches. And I'm going to do that for each one of my 5 different ribbons. So that's 2 at 12 inches and 2 at 8 inches. Once I have all my cuts made, we're going to make a little teardrop. And I'm going to use my stapler to put these all together. So we just fold over the ribbon, line it up, use your stapler, and then you create that little teardrop. And I'm going to use it for both the 12-inch pieces and the 8-inch pieces. And I'm just going to staple till my heart's content with all of my ribbon. You can see the teardrop shapes right there that I am creating. And of course, if you want to use hot glue, you can totally use hot glue as well. I'm cutting out and starting off with my little centerpiece. And all I'm doing is I'm adding those 12-inch pieces on first. So that's the larger loops. And I'm going to create kind of a bow sort of centerpiece. You'll see in a moment what my brain is thinking. And then the 8-inch pieces I'm going to put right in the center there, just creating a nice little bundle of ribbon. And once I have that kind of all placed out, I'm going to add some pine cones. Why not? These are from a very dear friend of mine, Diane. She gave those to me. So hello, Diane. Thank you. And I'm going to hot glue some string right on the back of our little centerpiece. That's how I'm going to attach it to the wreath. Add a little more hot glue to make sure it's secure. And I'm going to let that totally dry. Here is our little centerpiece, and I'm all excited about putting it in there. I'm going to grab my twine in the center, figure out where the center point is for that centerpiece, flip it over, and then I'm just going to take those ends and I'm going to tie them and then hot glue them to the back. Of course, it's a little messy in the back, so you can always cover that up with some foam core or felt if you have it. But here is our final piece. Our ribbon wreath with our beautiful center, and of course those pine cones, that orange, the pumpkin pattern, the wheat pattern, the green, the yellow. I just love these colors, and I actually really loved and enjoyed these ribbons and working with these ribbons today. They were so much fun, and I had a lot of fun creating our ribbon wreath. Of course, here's a little look again at the ribbon wreath without the center. You can totally choose any ribbon that you want, and you can use this style for any season as well. But here it is again with the centerpiece in there in all of its fall and autumn glory. It is totally ready to hang on my front door. Which one do you guys prefer? The one with the centerpiece or the one without? Let me know down below. Don't forget to click that playlist right down below in the description box to watch the rest of the videos in our Fall Wreathathon. Thank you so much, Nadia, for hosting, and thank you for joining me today while I made this fall ribbon wreath. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.